Hi, everyone. This is the Voltha TST meeting for June 23rd, 2020. We had two items on the agenda. One was a quick mention of the Garrett upgrade being completed, and the second was looking over JIRA issues. So this, just so you, just to remind people, this is recorded and will be posted on YouTube. So the Garrett upgrade was completed. Everyone has probably seen that the interface has been updated. There are a few changes that people probably have noticed. One is that there's no longer draft mode, but there is a analogous work in progress mode that a patch set can be in. There's also a bit of new documentation. One of the things you should look at is uploading changes. You'll notice that Git review is not mentioned in these. It seems to me, at least, that the Git review tool hasn't seen much development past 2018. While it does currently work, it may be a good idea to look into using just bare Git for some of the pushing changes.
Zach, is the if they renamed draft work in progress, that's just in the UI, that's not exposed in the Git review tools? It's just still the same process to upload a draft?
I don't believe drafts do not exist in later versions of Garrett. That actually went away about 2 years ago, and we just were that far behind on Garrett. I'm not sure. I haven't tried this, but if you use the draft upload, I'm not sure if it creates a work in progress commit.
So on GitHub, when I push, it just pushes to master. It doesn't go through this review cycle.
Right.
What are the changes required? I guess the question. So you have to start specifying.
You have to start specifying the branch, and it's the refs to set a for a thing. So there's and there's also a bunch of options on the end of it to specify who to notify, and to also actually to set whether it's work in progress or not. Okay. So you may want to review these,
that got simpler.
Review until it breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did upload something with repo last night, and I think it did work, though it was not a draft. It was just a normal patch.
And also, if anyone has trouble uploading things, make sure you have new versions of the Git review or repo tools. There are some incompatibilities if you're running older versions of those tools. There are also some new settings here. There's dark mode, which is kind of cool if you like that. There's some others, diff preferences. I really like the unified diff strategy. And also, if you hit fit to screen, it will, it won't line wrap. So, so yeah, if anyone has questions about Garrett, now that we've done the upgrade, let me know, or if anything's not working quite right. And with that, I think the next item was looking at JIRA issues for 2.4. I think, Sarav, were you gonna look at this?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna make you host. And not stop sharing.
Okay. So this is the last JIRA review that we'll do for 2.4, which is great. I know JIRA reviews cannot be very exciting, but it's good to have a sense of where we are. So 2.4, again, a reminder, 1 week, we are 1 week away from branching out 2.4. And if you look at JIRA right now, we have, well, this doesn't show subtasks. So you can go to details, And that'll tell you that, 315 issues are done, about 41 that are in progress, and sort of 9 issues that have not been touched. So let's look at the ones that are in progress right now. We have quite a few blockers. Okay, so let's go through them. So sanity test for telecom workflow, I think we have it, at least internally at ONF, we have that working manually. Need to turn that into a sanity test that will be part of our regression suite. So this one, I'm fairly confident we'll get it done for 3.4. Sorry, 2.4. We have a bug in the current version of BAL that we use in our regression testing 3.4.3.3. That bug is that bandwidth profile in the downstream direction at certain bandwidths. They don't get metered anymore. So if you set, say, for example, 100 megabits per second downstream, you can push as much as 900 megabits per second through that. So we are aware of this. We have actually tried our more recent version, BAL 3.4.7.5. I'm heard from EdgeCore that that one still has issues. So this is something that we will need to look into and hopefully fix with a newer version of BAL by the time we do this release. Then there are a couple of items regarding of issues that were found at scale. And these two, there is work that is going on in all parts of the stack. Actually, there's stuff in OF agent, there's stuff in Voltha core and its interactions with etcd. There's stuff in ONOS apps and its interactions with the meter store in ONOS. So actually, no, that last one is about this blocker. So this one, I think we have already gotten past as of tests yesterday. And these ones are still in progress. Ken and Matteo, do you want to talk about these at all?
So 3.2.4.2,
yeah.
It's actually done, is not closed yet because we haven't merged all the patches yet. But all the patches are there, and we did 10 plus scale run with those patches without seeing this issue anymore. Actually, without seeing this issue or the above one anymore. So they're basically both waiting for the patches to be merged, to be closed.
Okay. The uniports missing on logical device, that was,
yeah.
How did that get resolved? Yeah.
Oh, that one's not resolved yet. That one, it's the root cause of that. It's an etcd issue in the sense of we are writing quite a bit to etcds, and etcds being overloaded, and the error message we're getting back from etcd kind of points to potentially, like everywhere I've seen a look on the web, and the common pattern is that the disk being used, typically it's too slow for that amount of writes, which is causing the writing to be too slow and creating latencies, and those kind of latencies is causing the nodes to redo election, so they are swapping between each other after a certain time. Usually those nodes in an etcd cluster, when everything works perfectly, you may get a swap maybe once every 3 days. Here we're seeing it during a load test, which is not very long. So it's something that we still need to get to the bottom of that. There's one workaround for that, for this specific scenario that I find to work is if we do a retry. The retry is not in the core code, it's in the library code for the client. If we put a retry for that specific scenario, things seems to work well. So so that's an option. If we can't get to the bottom of the etcd.
Okay, thank you. And this last blocker I mentioned was, it's actually, we have fixed this. This was an issue of meter state not getting cleaned up completely in ONOS after an OLT is deleted. So when you bring back the OLT, it causes some issues, but Andrea's patch that is in Get It right now, we've actually tested that, and that seems to fix this particular issue. So, so we should be okay over here. A few remaining high priority items. We wanted to validate technology profiles, and Andy was working with Suraj from Infosys. Andy, do you want to update on this particular issue?
Sure, I can do that. So this test is just about ready to be merged. In my investigations, we did, just through running the test, we did discover an anomalous behavior with traffic in the downstream direction towards the RG. We see that packets, so the way the test works is it sends packets with p-bits set from 0 to 7 and makes sure that the packets get through and the p-bit is preserved. That works fine upstream. Downstream, we're seeing p-bits 1 through 7 coming through to the RG with tagged packets with tagged VLAN 0. For p-bit 0, we see a different behavior that the RG, the ONU is stripping the VLAN header, and so those packets arrive untagged with, of course, no p-bit set. So I've created another JIRA for that. I don't think I listed it as a blocker, but maybe I should change the status to blocker. Do you think that itself is a blocker, that inconsistent behavior? Well, first of all, did that make sense, my explanation?
Yeah, for most p-bits, the VLAN tag is actually preserved, right?
Right.
In the downstream direction, but for p-bit 0, it actually strips the tag.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I need to talk to, I don't think it's quite a blocker yet. I need to talk to a few people, probably in the BAL brigade, and actually it's probably not a BAL issue, an ONU issue, but I'll bring it up in the BAL brigade. I probably want to talk to Matt from AT&T about that if he, but okay, so the test itself is ready to go through, even with this kind of behavior. At least the other p-bits we can verify in the downstream, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool, thank you. Pipeline support to monitor Kafka usage, Matteo?
Yeah, that's still, that was started, but I don't think we have much progress on that. I'll check with Sheree today.
Okay, thank you. Making NNI port speed configurable while building OpenOLT. I don't think Thiago is online, but Girish or Amit, are you aware of these things? Yeah.
Yeah, I can comment for that. So that is waiting on BAL 3.4.7.5 I mean, the changes are ready, but it's not tested. It's waiting on a stable BAL release to actually merge this change.
So the current version that we use, 3.4.3.3, this can't be used to test that out with 3.4.3.3?
Well, we agreed on an approach where BAL would provide some support. While that support is available in BAL 3.4.7.5, but that's not a stable release for us to, merge this change and claim this work is complete.
I see. Okay. So has the same sort of level of dependency on BAL that this one does. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's talk about that in the BAL Brigade call tomorrow. More BAL Brigade things regarding Maple connection errors.
Well, this is a problem with the GPON OLT at ONF.
Okay.
I'm working with Jason.
Okay, this is related to the CPLD upgrade?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is something from the multicast brigade. When we remove subscriber flows, there is an issue with the flow removal. And I think SN was going to look into this week. We talked about it in the multicast brigade meeting on Monday.
Yeah, so I think we should move this to Blocker if we need to support truck telecom workflow.
Okay, I agree. Very good. So that should now show up as a blocker. Okay. Down here, yeah, we need to get the truck telecom workflow as part of our regression testing. So that's clearly in the works. OpenONU and Raptor is not configuring the gem port on some ONUs when running at scale. Girish?
Actually, this has only 1+1 and another +1. I think we can merge this. So it just does a few retries. Yeah, nothing big here.
Okay. Mahir, can you help please review this patch so we can get this merged?
No, I think Mahir has a +1.
He already, okay.
Yes.
Mahir is quick always.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll look into who else can, who's on the review. Karthik is not in the project anymore. Okay, let me see who else we can find. Thank you. So this is close to getting merged. Okay, as an operator, I should be able to view logs from all Volta components in a single stream. Is anyone from Infosys? Girish, Divya? Girish Kumar? Do you know the status of this?
Yeah. Sorry, I think we're working on this. I'm hoping this should probably get closed. So the way we are going ahead is we are putting that EFP solution. So there were some final comments from David, which were, I think, being fixed by Divya, and even David did a update of the patch. Hope to, I think, get it closed in the next few days. and much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that one got my +1. I think maybe we're waiting for David to take a look, and because I think yeah, the last patch was David's. I think Divya added something since then.
The last thing I just pushed this to this morning should have addressed Scott's last comment about the port, and should be ready to go. The only other comment I'm aware of is that I think it's a comment in the README file.
Okay.
Yeah, I think both of those are minor enough. Yeah.
So these two, right? Okay. So let's get these merged this week. Thank you about that. Moving on, we have EPON support in the technology profile. Yeah, sorry, there was, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the
Girish.
904 actually is slightly unrelated. It is basically a log correlation. So if you remember log correlation and tracing support, I think we tried to handle those two requirements together, right? I think there have been multiple patches which are going around, and it's kind of a bit complex than I think we probably anticipated. So it's taking more time. This feature, the base support for that feature would go in, but I think this completely would not be done in this.
Okay. So 904, I'll move it to the future.
Feature. Yeah, feature.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think there are around 10 to 12 GRs which are under it.
Right.
Half of them would go through, but it will only provide the base. So I think beyond that, I think in the next release we'll see actually tracing working.
Okay. Thank you. EPON support in technology profile, Takahiro, I think some things did get merged. I think at least one patch got merged. What's the status of the others?
I'm going to merge it into 2.4 this week, and Girish tests this code now.
So I see
Yes.
one of them has a +1. Yeah, go ahead, Girish.
Yeah, so this week, something has got merged. I'm not sure when. Oh, this
This one
was
got
something
merged.
else. Yeah, so that was just some JSON files for EPON tech profile, but the other two are the major ones. So we were busy last week with tackling some regressions on the master. So this week I will test images from Takahiro. We'll have this for 2.4.
Great, thank you. Moving on, ranging distance between OLT and ONU. We have some, I don't think we have Jason online, but Scott, do you know? There's one
No.
merged batch. Yeah, go ahead.
The last I'd heard is that it was aimed for 2.4, but I've not heard anything since. I would say at this point, I would think this one has to be future.
Add a few test cases before it can be merged.
Yeah, I think the test cases are also there, but there was a Jenkins. There was a Jenkins -1. So a few things that needs to be fixed. I think it can merge.
Build fail. Yeah.
Yeah, and minor things. I mean, this can go in this release, but I don't think it'll be functional end to end, right? I mean, because
Not end to end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but this story here is only, well, I guess this is the whole end-to-end story. I was thinking this was just the agent story.
Yeah, but on the agent side, we can close in 2.4 release, but we cannot pull this information from the northbound.
Yeah, because we, things changed in the middle a little bit, so we'll have to update.
Yeah.
So we can keep this about the agent and create news stories for, what do you think? Create news stories for the rest of, the stack, or we can move this to the future and make this about the whole end-to-end story.
Well, this one is listed as component for the agent. I would say let's just make this one about the agent so we can get this one closed out, and then make a new story to update the rest of the stack to comply with the agent change.
Okay.
But yeah, we need to get into contact with the guys working on this and
Yeah.
make sure they'll get it in.
Perhaps Girish, you can bring this up with Jason tomorrow. Jason,
Yeah.
Jason tomorrow, and have him fix whatever is making Jenkins unhappy.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Doing good on time. Okay. So this is a failure scenario regarding restarting OF agent before subscriber is provisioned. I think Devashish from LTTS was looking into this. Suchitra, do you know more about this?
Yes, the test has been returned reviewed, but we just wanted to verify it on a physical pod. But unfortunately, since last week, we were not able to do that due to regression issues on the pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in the next 2 days, we'll be able to merge the patch, test it and merge.
Thank you very much. This seems like a BB sim story allowing DHCP without DA poll. Matteo?
Yeah, that's one of the first steps required for to support
Telecom
the Dark Telecom workflow. The patch is actually ready. Just need a rebase and the check.
Okay. So you're confident this will go in, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. Protect concurrent access for pawn resources. I think we have recently resolved this issue, which was a regression in our testing, right, Girish? Did you use Gamze's patch or did you create a new one, or what? Was...
I used Gamze's patch, and this one is merged. We can close this one.
Okay, let me do the honors. Come on. Okay. Okay. Pass context on the execution call hierarchy across the Volta code base. Is this related to logging? Is Neha? No. Girish? This is, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Yes, this is related to login and the context we are passing. The changes are already good to go. They have +2. So I think Scott is waiting for some other regression fixes to go in first. So maybe he can update when these changes can go in.
Yeah, this one is the one I merged last night, and then I reverted because we needed to get other Volta-Go changes in first.
Okay.
But these are believed ready.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
There's an open OLT patch that goes with it, so we'll have to get both of those patches in at the same time.
Okay, great. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Neha.
Yeah,
looking
okay,
good.
Thank you.
Looking good. Okay. Adding log connections from the ONOS Diagnostics tool to nightly jobs. I think Hungwei is around, but Suchitra, are we looking to get ONOS tags?
Yes, that was the plan. We were just waiting for Pierre to merge the ONOS Diag tool to one of the repos before we can start this activity. I think that was done some time back. I need to check with Pierre.
So
and then
our robot jobs are actually collecting some of this diagnostics, right, via CLI tools. So the need for using ONOS tags, is that what prompted that?
There were more collections, I guess, that the ONOS Diag was doing it. I don't remember exactly now, but this is what was requested. If there were any issues that we need to investigate from ONOS side, that this tool was dumping more information which was needed. That's why we thought that, okay, we can add this also as part of the log collection stats.
That seems to be very helpful when debugging clustering issues in ONOS.
Right. Yeah.
And it's actually very good at getting the logs without the color coding in them. That makes them way more readable. So easier to find issues.
That's true. Okay, thank you. So Suchitra, please take an action item to talk to Pierre about this.
Yes.
Hardik, add scenario to verify deleted ONU should be discovered again. This is in BBSIM, is it? Hardik, you're on. Hardik was there some time back, I think. Okay. So Chitra, do you know anything about this one?
Yeah, this is not just about BBSIM, but also on the hardware. And there were 2 patches from Hardik about 2 other tickets. One of them is this. Again, we were waiting for the hardware ports. None of the QA ports were available for actual test before we can merge the patches.
Okay, so we I think we can get this in. Breaking down devices and logical devices into logical components. This is part of the, this is part of the code cleanup. Yeah.
Yes.
Kent?
Yes, I mentioned last week that I'm working on the last piece of this. I don't think I'm going to get it done by the end of the week. I think this is going to have to go in after
Future.
this week.
Okay.
But.
Thank you. Yeah, task. So okay, there's a lot of subtasks that went in. Okay, great. That's wonderful. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Rearrange tests in functional suite. Again, this is a Hardik thing. Do you know what this is, Suchitra?
Yes, this is another task where we wanted to move out the disable, enable OLT towards the end of the functional suite, because we were encountering some issues with the test and because due to dependencies. So this patch is ready again. This is another patch that I was mentioning where Hardik needs to test it on the hardware before merge.
Okay, so I think we can come back to this one regarding disable enable of OLT. Then there is about in-band. I do think we need to get to in-band in Voltha 2.4. So, so I think there is work that needs, over the next couple of weeks, we can look into in-band. Update Helm charts to support Helm release name for name differentiation. Is that something you are looking to do, David, as part of 2.4? David?
I'm reading that. I actually, most of that is done. I think there's only one sub item left, and that's the radius one, free radius. Whether that'll get done this week or not, I don't know. It's not critical.
Okay.
The other 2 are done. I leave it on, and if it gets done this week, it gets done. If not, it will be pushed.
Sure, fair enough. Jaeger tracing stack deployment in kind Volta. Girish, yeah.
This patch, I think, needs to go through that basic patch. We actually started with 3 components and then I think extended to 6 components over the last week because we added a few additional functionality. But I guess just all the patches have gone through a couple of reviews and some of them I think have got +2 and then it went through rebase and also I think
It just needs rebase from most of the things. Yeah, okay.
yeah, hopefully we should get through. I think I've got +1 on the main one, the go multiple times. So hopefully I think it should get through. It has gone through multiple reviews with David, Scott, Kent, and hopefully I think it's in a position it should complete in the next 2 days.
Okay, thank you.
Allow
Yeah.
the testing to go there.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of things that are in the pipeline to get merged, so that's good. Core panic in debug mode. It's in progress but unassigned, which is strange. But let's look at what this is about. Ken, do you know more?
Oh, this is already fixed.
Did you fix it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, another one from the multicast brigade, extended VLAN tagging set OMCA message in new mode. I think this needs another review. I think we should be good on this one. Right, Girish?
Sorry, I haven't had a look at this one. She said she's still working on this one. The patch wasn't working completely. So
okay, I do think she rebased it, so it's +1 now.
Okay, I'm not sure. So let me take a look after this meeting.
Okay, no worries on that. Include port capability in port create message. I believe this has been tested in our functional test suite last night and passed. So I think we are very close to merging this. Right, Ken? Matteo?
Yes.
Yeah, Girish, yeah, okay.
Those patches are, one is already merged, the other one is waiting for Jenkins, and then they will be merged.
Yeah, I think this is very close. That's good. Okay, add retry option in BBSIM. Matteo, have you talked to Shrey recently?
Yeah, I spoke with him about this morning. We have a new patch that I need to check, but we're very close to get it done.
Okay, that's great. So this is support free ready. I think this is just a subtask of the Helm chart changes, which was this one. So I think we've already talked about that. Let's leave it in there for now. New jobs, the CI management, of course, for the Turk Telecom workflow. I think that's pretty obvious. We need to get that in. Fix MAC address reported to adapter when EdgeCore OLT is running in in-band mode. So this comes from Amit, I think. Is this something that we're looking to get done by 2.4? Yeah.
Yes, I hope so. The review is up there. There's a work going on in that, but functionally it's working fine. So I think we should be able to put it in.
Okay, so this is work in the OpenOLT agent. And this is actually, it seems necessary for in-band support to work correctly, right? If the wrong MAC address is pulled out, of the out-of-band management interface, then that doesn't work, right? It needs to report the MAC address on which, the server is listening. So I don't see how we can get in-band working without this, right?
No, so this MAC address really comes into the I forgot the name of the API, but the OLT's system information, right? And it's not really used anywhere except for displaying purpose, is what my understanding is. But if somebody is displaying it, he gets a wrong information about the IP and MAC address pair that is displayed, because the IP address is that of the in-band interface, whereas the MAC address is of the out-of-band interface.
I see. So via ARP, it's actually getting the MAC address. So the communication is happening properly.
Yes.
But what
yes,
is
it's only a
displayed
display.
is the wrong MAC address. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Got it. Okay. So yeah, this is, if you can get this in, that's good, but not a requirement for correct operation. So that's good. Good to know. Consume port capability. Okay, so this is just, again, port. This is the second part of the, so, right, it's a subtask. So I think we've already talked about that. ONU ports disabled check for integration test for OpenONU Go adapter. Torsten is not online. Suchitra, do you know about this one?
Yeah, he is still working on this task, Torsten.
Yeah.
Saurav?
Yeah, Andrea?
Yeah, sorry, I joined late. This can be moved to future.
Okay.
Since we're not planning and integrating the OpenONU adapter Go version in 2.4, this is future.
Yeah. Thank you. Kafka topic exporter to export MVP metrics from implementations of the DM interface. Amit, do you know about this one?
Yeah, yeah, this change is to take the new device management interface format KPIs that would be coming on the Kafka bus and export it to the Prometheus format. That is what anyways the Kafka topic exporter was doing. So this, again, the code is out there. It has 1+1. I think Scott also has been looking into it. Again, it's not a mandatory requirement because the components which would be pushing this data to the Kafka bus do not exist as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I would move it to future, sir.
But if it's there, okay, I'll take your recommendation.
Yeah, I think one more +1 and we could get it in.
Yeah.
But if there's any question about testing, I think it'd be fine to hold it off.
Okay, let me move this to future right now because there's no way to test this. Okay, finally, okay, this is again from Thiago. OLT device state is set to down when not all maple chips. So this has been there for a while, right, Girish?
Well, the code was ready a long time back, but there were some issues on the BAL. And again, it's waiting on a stable BAL release before we can merge this. But
Right.
again, this one is not important for the release. I mean, this is one corner case and we can take this in the future.
We can take this in the future. That's why I was thinking as well. Disable, enable OLT PON port. Hardik was working on this test, was it? Okay, this is just another one of those things that, let's see if we can get this in, but if not, then we'll move it.
Yeah, I think we made progress because while working on this test, Hardik found some issues in BBSIM that was not behaving the same way as the hardware did for that particular case, and he fixed that. So I think we should be close to get that done.
So the current state of that is that it works on BBSIM and it works on the Infosys physical pod. While testing it on TwoSum-Pod, it does not work because it fails on the second or third ONU on upon tree. We have not had the time to investigate that failure.
Okay.
And thus the test at the moment is in that position. It works on BBSim, but not on the physical pod.
Does it work on BBSim with multiple ONUs?
Yes. To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it does work. And then also here we ran that. I helped him run on the QA pods, and again it fails there. It randomly fails on one of the ONUs, so still needs to be investigated.
Okay, I'll leave it on there for now. Liveness probes for ONOS in Helm charts. Kishore was looking.
Didn't we move this already to future?
It still says 2.4.
Probes were already part of the Volta Helm, or ONOS Helm charts, weren't they, for the ONOS Classic? Maybe not.
Yeah, this is in the ONOS project, ONOS Helm charts over there, as you can see in the link. No, not that one, sir. That is the stale link. You have to look at the first comment because it's a pull request on the GitHub of the Helm charts.
Of the ONOS. Okay, yeah, I get it. But so that's why I was thinking it was done, but then he reopened this and resubmitted this particular patch. So 115, right? So 102 is the pull request earlier, right? So I guess 102 wasn't merged.
Some announcements to it that were made with 115. So 102 was merged, and it was a first partial thing, and then 115 actually does a little more. It's just
okay. So we're still waiting on that.
maybe I can talk with David. We can take this offline and decide between the two of us what we want to do with it.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. So that's all. So let me refresh this. We have about 33 issues in progress that we've gone through. And then, you know, there's things that are still waiting to do. Of course, in-band, there's a couple of stories for in-band Berlin pod, as well as the sanity test suite. There's a couple of bugs. I think this was seen in the scale testing. Flow add request was sent to the wrong adapter, Matteo. Is this something?
So that's something we've only seen once in the scale test. So I will leave it open a few more days.
Yeah, but I'm gonna. it's currently unassigned. Is that?
Yeah, we can move it to future.
Yeah. When you say the wrong adapter, you're talking about the wrong ONU adapter, right?
Open an adapter. Yeah.
Okay. Let me for now move it to the future. ONU indication timeout. That is also opened by you, Matteo.
Yeah, this one I actually think is resolved. It may have been a duplicate issue, but I'll double check and I'll close it if that's the case. Because I recently made a patch in which the ONU indication was actually received before the handler was created. And this seems to be very, very similar thing. So it most likely it's been resolved by the other patch.
Okay, so just take a look. Okay. That's an epic. We talked about in-band, another in-band. In-band mode, agent not started if it does not have the IP address. Okay. Amit, do you know if Humera is looking to do this before 2.4? Or I guess this can be moved to the future, though, right?
Yeah, she is working on this, I know, and we will try to get it in,
Okay.
but yeah, it has to go through the review cycle. Yeah.
Sure.
So
I'll leave it in
maybe a
right
little
now.
tight.
I'll leave it in right now. Okay. David, remove unused flags originally used for core HS. So this is some code cleanup issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you intend to do this?
I'm working on it. It depends. The easy part's done. Doing the harder part. I intend to try to get it done this week.
Okay.
I'll put it that
Let
way.
me leave it there for now. Okay. Pierre create no subscriber flows added in vote, add subscriber call, and exceptions were thrown in on us. Andrea, do you know more about this? Is this related to the IGMP issues that we've been, that we fixed?
That is
No, actually. Yeah.
question.
Okay, I'll leave it in there in case we see this again. I know there were some errors that were caused because of the IGMP-based exceptions, and that resulted in more problems, but let's see. Let's leave it in there, and if we don't see it over the next couple of weeks, I think we can say that it's been resolved.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. And this is the issue that Andy was pointing out about the non-uniform behavior with downstream pivets. So we'll look into that as well. Okay, so 33 issues in progress, 8 to do, and I think we're in fairly good shape for this release. Thank you very much. Anybody has any last comments? Okay, then. Over to you, Zach.
Okay, I don't think we have anything else on the agenda. Is there any other comments, or I'll end the meeting? Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.